guys, and welcome back to a new video. Today's video is going to be my August reading wrap up, and we had a bit of a mixed bag in the month of August, to be honest. I did read some arcs, I read quite a few romances. I don't think I actually branched out to really many other categories other than romance, but that is totally fine. So I'm just going to dive straight in and we'll just go through all the ratings and my thoughts and that kind of stuff. I read about 7 in total, and then I've got 2 that I am still currently in the middle of, so I will mention those at the end, but they obviously will be in my September wrap up now because I didn't manage to finish them before the end of August, but I have started them, so they are worth a mention. So the first book that I read in the month of August was Archer's Voice. I actually carried this over from the month of July. Now, Archer's Voice was so highly rated, so recommended, so many good things. I read it and I'm really disappointed. I really don't feel I'm reading the same book as everybody else. First of all, the storyline and stuff didn't take the route that I thought it was going to. There was a lot of things that I didn't really understand in there. I ended up giving it 3 stars. Now, everyone really raves about it, so for me 3 stars was like really off track compared to everything else, but yeah, I didn't really like it all that much. I liked the kind of small town aspect of it and how everybody came together when the characters needed them, kind of took them in and stuff, but the rest of it just really, it didn't make sense to me. And the just timeline of the story, like at one part she had to go and do something and went back home, and then she was meant to be there for like a week or so, and then she was immediately coming back, and it was just really random and didn't really make sense. Sorry if this is one of the books that you really love, but for me, it wasn't my fave. And when I went on to Goodreads, a lot of people were also saying like, have they read the same book that everybody else has read, because they felt very similar views to me. So I was kind of glad that I wasn't the only one, and I was like, have I really missed something? But yeah, it just wasn't for me, I don't think. The next book that I read in the month of August was The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer, and this is now one of my all-time favourite books. So I ended up giving this 4.75 stars, and I stand by that. It wasn't quite 5 stars. I don't know why, I just didn't get that 5-star feeling, but it definitely was a very high rating. I really enjoyed it. So our story follows Rory and Hazel. Have I made that up? I'm pretty sure their names are Rory and Hazel. I know his name's Rory, but it does not say her name on the back, but I think it's Rory and Hazel. So it follows those two, and Hazel is the physiotherapist for the team, and Rory is a hockey player on that team. Hazel's ex-boyfriend then gets a place on this team, and they ended in a really kind of horrible way. And she then just blurts out that she's dating Rory, so then they have to fake date, and it is the perfect fake dating trope. All you fake dating lovers out there, you will not be disappointed by this. Honestly, perfect fake dating. It was incredible. I really enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say on it. Honestly, he was like perfect golden retriever hockey player. Their relationship and the way they understood each other and helped each other through certain things, and just overall, I just really loved this book. So 4.75, and if you're looking for a really good hockey romance, I highly recommend this one. Then the next book that I read was Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan, and this one ended up being a 3.5 star for me. Now, I did actually enjoy some aspects of the book. Like, the book was set on like a mom and her 2 kids, I believe. She basically writes a script of a breakup that she's had with her husband, and then this film crew pick it up and they want to film it, so they come to her house to obviously film in the location that she's based it on. So they come there, and one of the movie stars basically is like, I'm not ready to leave yet, so I'm just going to stay with you for a little bit, and he kind of stays there. You get like scenes with him and the kids and stuff, and it's quite sweet actually. But there is one part in this book where there is massive miscommunication, and I just really didn't like that part of it. I was like, this is not the route I thought it was going to take, and I did not enjoy that part, but the rest of it I did quite enjoy. I didn't necessarily connect with the characters too much in this story, which was a bit of a shame, hence the 3.5 star review, but I still really enjoyed it. So yeah, I do recommend if you're looking for like a short kind of read, and I do really like Annabelle Monaghan's writing and how her characters deal with more realistic issues in life. The next book that I read was on my Kindle, and it was actually an ARC that I was kindly gifted by the author, and that is Where Happiness Begins by N.S. Perkins. So she kindly reached out to me and said, would you like to read my newest release? And I obviously accepted, and so she sent that over to me, and it's basically a marriage of convenience story, which is not my favourite trope, I will put that out there. However, I did quite enjoy how she did this one, so I don't want to go into too much detail because it is part of a standalone series, so I think you kind of know more about the characters and stuff throughout the other books. The story follows Lillian and Carter, and they get married, kind of like, it is definitely epitome of marriage of convenience in terms of they've got something going on that, or Lillian's got something going on where she needs Carter's help, and the only way for him to help her is them to get married. They get married and he ends up moving in with her, so you kind of have the forced proximity scenes and stuff within the book, and then she helps him out by doing social media for a band that he is working with, and yeah, I kind of liked the whole band scene. That was quite interesting, and learning the backstory and how the characters are linked together. I kind of didn't see some aspects of that coming, which kind of was nice to have that little bit of a plot twist in there. But yeah, other aspects of it, I felt like some of the character development was lacking slightly. Like, I would have liked to learn more about the characters, preferably together, but other than that, I did really enjoy the story, and I do want to read more of N.S. Perkins' work. And I gave it 3, at the time I gave it 3.75, but I think it's probably 3.5 because I feel like it's probably on the same level as Nora Goes Off Script now that I've thought about it, so I'm going to go with 3.5 for that one. The next book I read was my book club read for the month, and that was Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. So if you didn't know, I'm part of Bestie Sarah Caroli's book club, which is always linked in her videos and stuff if you ever want to be part of it. It's really nice to be part of a book club, I feel like, especially like online, so you don't have to physically go to the book club, because that kind of gave me anxiety thinking about that. So part of our book club, we vote for a book every month, and then we all read it and give our thoughts and stuff in the book club. It's like a Patreon page, so in there. But yeah, so this is our read for the month of August, and I ended up giving it 4.75 stars. Again, not quite 5, but really enjoyed it. This story follows Ali, and she is basically feeling a bit down. Her mum's passed away and she's getting a divorce from her husband, and she's just like, I just can't bring myself to get up, get dressed and do all the things that mums are meant to be doing. Is also a professional organiser, and she just can't bring herself to organise her own home. She's like, I just haven't got it in me at the moment. And then the first day that she puts on proper clothes, goes to the dog park, her dog goes and pees on a guy and claims him, and he's like, I like you. And then that's the little meet cute in the story, which I actually really liked. That is on the back of the book as well, by the way. That is not ruining anything because it's right there. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed that little meet cute. It's like a kind of an unusual one. I've literally never read that in another book, but yeah, really enjoyed it. And then the relationship between them was just very real, I think. Really enjoyed the story. Ethan was the main character, so Ali and Ethan's story was just so sweet, and I just really liked how everything wrapped up in the end. It was more of like a family one because Ali's got 3 children, so the children were in the story, and children aren't normally my favourite in books, but I actually really enjoyed this one, just seeing how Ethan interacted with them compared to like Ali's ex-husband, that kind of thing. And yeah, it was just so sweet, and I love when dogs are in books, and there was dogs in this book. So yeah, 4.75 stars, and I do highly recommend if you're looking for a summery type romance. I know we are coming to the end of summer now, but if you just want to squeeze your last one in, then I highly recommend this one. And again, it just made me want to read more of Annabelle Monaghan's book, so I am going to try and find the other one and read that one at some point. Then the next book that I read was so highly anticipated for me, and that was Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, and I just could not love Jacob anymore. He is such a cutie, and I relate to him so much with being an anxiety girl in myself. The anxiety representation in this book was just so realistic, very much appreciated, I feel, because sometimes if people haven't dealt with anxiety, they don't know the inner workings of your brain and how you overthink things. Jacob is literally me in a male form. He is just me, but as a man. I just loved him. He was adorable, and him and Brie together were just perfection. There was a little bit of a trope at the end where I was like, oh, this is not my favourite, but I still enjoyed the overall story and gave it 5 stars, which, to be honest, I'm not surprised because so many people ended up loving this and ended up giving it 5 stars. And I now want to read the backlog of Abby Jimenez because I just loved her writing and how she told the characters, and just how they both helped each other like work through things was just so cute. And it's a fake dating trope as well, which we love. So they're both doctors and they work in the same hospital. Jacob has just started, and at first they kind of have a little bit of like, not necessarily a conflict, but a bit of a misunderstanding, and then they end up fake dating, and yeah, it's just adorable. If you've read this, let me know, and let me know your thoughts. Was it a 5 star for you as well? Because it was a definite 5 star for me. Then I read another book on my Kindle, and that was Wicked Serve, which was kindly gifted to me by Valentine PR. Now, if you have watched my channel, you may know that I am a sports romance girly, love sports romances. This one kind of did not eat. Yeah, it was more of a friends with benefits story, which I'm fine with. I do enjoy those stories sometimes, but because they were so like together so early on in the book, I just was like, there's no anticipation for them getting together. You don't really get like a backstory of them being together at other parts in the book, and just I felt like we was missing some character development from other areas of the book. I did like that there wasn't much miscommunication between the characters, which was good because I hate miscommunication in books. So that was a bit of a refreshing change. But other than that, yeah, I think it's because they were together so early on in the book, and there was so much unnecessary spice, like just out of nowhere, random, just yeah, every like at one point it was like every other page, and I was like, this is getting a little bit much for me personally. But other than that, I liked the characters. I liked the close-knit family aspect of the other characters that had appeared throughout the series, because it's part of a series like standalone. There was like nice close-knit found family type aspect throughout the story, which I really enjoyed, but then there was just some really random parts in there, so I ended up giving it 2.75 stars because yeah, it just wasn't my favourite read of the month, or compared to other sports romances. I think the trope just didn't work well for me when reading this. As I mentioned, I am in the middle of 2 other books. The first one is Btown by Frederick Backman. So this is actually on my August TBR, and I am still working my way through my August TBR because I've just had a bit of a hectic month with like doing other things. I am actually enjoying this one. I wanted a bit more of a slower pace literary fiction, and this is delivering on that. So I'm just slowly making my way through it, and yeah, I'll give updates in my September roundup video because I'll be finishing this hopefully this week. And then the other book that I'm currently reading is The Cruel Prince. So I actually started reading this on my Kindle because it is on Kindle Unlimited, but I do actually have the physical copy as well. I've literally had this book for so long, but I am actually enjoying it so far. Slightly confused on some of the wording fantasy wise. I haven't read tons and tons of fantasy books, but I'm slowly understanding some bits of it, so making my way through it. And again, I will give updates on this in my September wrap-up video. But those are actually all the books that I read throughout August. So if you've read any of these, or if you're planning to read any of these, let me know your thoughts on them. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in another video super soon. Bye.